Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I hope that you click that link down below and subscribe so you can be a part of our little family that we got going here. Today's video is actually going to be a makeup tutorial using all of my favorite makeup products from 2017. I know everybody's been doing their best of beauty from 2017 ever since the new year started, and I did want to do it, but I wanted to do it a little bit different because I didn't want to just come on camera and talk about them. I wanted you to actually like see me use them. So I decided to just pick them all and put them on my face for you. So that's what I did today. It actually ended up being kind of like my everyday makeup routine for the year, just a little bit more glam, obviously, because I used all of the products at once. So this is kind of a really great like everyday glam makeup tutorial as well, because all of my favorite products ended up giving us this gorgeous look. For most of 2017, I was still at my old job working a 9 to 5, so a lot of these products are going to be really great for long wear, for everyday use, just good old reliable products that you can keep in your makeup bag and get great use out of every single day. Some of them are old favorites, some of them are new discoveries, but I guarantee you everything in this video is going to be great shit. I am still giving my hair a little bit of a heat break, which is why we got our little curly messy bun at the top of my head, but it feels good to just not have to do my hair today. Honestly, I just threw this up in a bun. I had some French braids in yesterday, so when I took out the braids it was like all wild and curly, and I was like, let me just throw it up. And I think it looks cute actually with the big hoops. Now I'm rambling. I'm sure this video is going to be super duper long, so if you're interested in learning all about my favorite beauty products from 2017 and learning how to get this everyday glam look, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Hey guys, so for the most part today's video is kind of going to be like my everyday makeup routine that I used most often in 2017, because I am using like all of my favorite products from 2017. To start, I'm going to take one of my all-time favorite products. This is the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray, and I spray this before I do my makeup as like, whew, as like an extra barrier of priming, an extra barrier of oil control. It helps stick your makeup to your face throughout the day. It's just amazing. It is honestly the only setting spray that I can like attest to that will actually help the longevity of your makeup. I like other setting sprays for like melting in my powder and making everything look a little bit less cakey and just like more set into your face than before, but for the most part this is about the only one I've found that it actually helps like the long wearing of your makeup. And that actually goes for my next product I'm going to talk about. This is the Dior Skin Forever and Ever Wear makeup primer. This is an Extreme Perfection Hold primer. This is one of the only primers in my life that I can actually say helps your makeup stay on throughout the day. So I take about that much of it, and it's kind of like a lotion consistency. It's not like pore filling or like silicone-y like those pore filling primers. It feels like an actual like skincare product when you put it on. And I'm telling you guys, I've talked about this probably 1,001 times on my channel, but it is the best primer for keeping your makeup on throughout the day, like better than any other primer. It is expensive, but that is incredible. And then once I have my setting spray and my powder on, I go ahead and I do my brows. So I'm sure you guys already know what product I'm going to talk about, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Soft Brown. It's the only brow product I use like ever. This is just the best brow product in the world. It's so easy to use. It's kind of like foolproof, and it actually keeps your brows on all day. I never have a problem with it wearing off really, and it's a really great waxy texture that's going to stick to the hairs, fill in any sparse areas. The color Soft Brown is the perfect color for me. Even though I've gotten a lot lighter blonde throughout the year, this is still the color I go for. For some reason I can't go lighter. Like I've tried blonde, I've tried taupe, I've tried a bunch of other shades from Anastasia, and I always go back to Soft Brown, so this is just my shade, but they do have a full range of shades. You're bound to find the perfect brow color for yourself. But yeah, I'm actually gonna just skip through this part because it takes me a while, and I actually filmed an entire eyebrow routine that I will link in here with a card somewhere so you guys can check that out. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do my brows and then we'll talk about some other products. Okay you guys, my brows are on now. I wanted to talk to you about the next product, which is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is what I've been using for most of the year to carve up my brows, and I know that is super bougie to use this expensive of a concealer. I think it's like $30. to use this expensive of a concealer to like just cover out your brows, but quite like, I gotta be honest, like this is literally what I've been doing all year, and it's amazing. It's a really great concealer. It's got great coverage. If you want to spot conceal with it, it's got great coverage. I've used it under my eyes and it's got great coverage, and it doesn't crease, it doesn't cake. It's just a really nice matte finish without being like drying at all, and it just glides on so effortlessly, and I think that's the reason that I've been loving it for carving out my brows. I also usually take it onto my lid as like my lid primer, and it works amazing for that as well. So all around, great concealer. So if you're looking for a great concealer and you're more of a pot concealer girl, I definitely recommend this one. I think it's really great for all kinds of concealing purposes, whether it's carving your brows out, whether it's spot concealing, or whether it's under your eyes. I just think it's awesome. The next product I want to talk about is like my spot concealer and color corrector of the year. For 2017, I fell in love with the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer, and I use this for so many different things. I use this under my eyes a tiny bit as a kind of a color corrector because it's so pigmented. It's literally like a pigment concentrate. It is literally so pigmented. You can put it under your eyes. I usually do this at this point in my makeup because I like it to kind of set in and sink in and like really provide a great coverage. Or you can take a tiny bit on any redness or acne spots and it completely covers them. Like, do you see that? Insane. I have some spots down here. Oh, the tiniest bit goes the longest way. That's why it comes in this tiny little pot like this. It is just so incredible. If you have foundations that are not full coverage enough for you and you want to add some coverage, like boost up the coverage a little bit, you can just add a tiny bit of this to it and it will do you some wonders. I love this stuff. I just feel like it serves so many different purposes. So this tiny little jar is completely worth its price. I love this stuff. I honestly would never use this all over the face. I feel like it's a little bit too thick, but for color correcting and concealing, I feel like it is the perfect thing ever. Like, it's so nice and creamy. It's so pigmented. You need the tiniest bit. It is just awesome. So I did want to mention that. Okay, guys, the foundation I really loved this year was the good old classic Estee Lauder Double Wear. I went a while without this, and when I rediscovered, I can't remember if I rebought this in 2016 or 17, but I have to say, like, of all the different foundations I tried this year, this is definitely the one that stood out to me the most because it was my go-to whenever I really needed a good foundation. The reasons I love this is because it lasts all day. It has a beautiful finish on the skin. It's got great coverage. You can just always count on this, especially for like events, important things, even as just an everyday foundation. I honestly don't use this every day because it's like my event foundation. Like, I save it for when I know I want to look good and feel good for hours. Well, I always want to look good and feel good for hours, but it's like my event foundation. Like, when I know I can't like take any chances with my makeup, like I need it to last, I need it to look good. This is it. This is like my party foundation. This is what I use whenever anything important is going on. So it's just amazing. It's a lot thinner than it used to be. Not a lot thinner than it used to be, but I feel like it used to be very cakey and heavy on the skin. Now it's a lot more like breathable and wearable. It just looks beautiful, feels beautiful, lasts all day long, and it's just like old reliable, you know? I think for my 2016 favorites, I mentioned the Makeup Forever Stick Foundation, and although I do still love that, it's a little bit too dewy for me. Like, it stays pretty tacky on the skin, and so I've been using it more recently, but for the most part this year I was very oily, so it was just a little bit too dewy for me for most of the year, which is why I didn't choose it, but that definitely still is an all-time fave of mine. Okay, so for under eye concealer, my fave is probably everybody in the world's fave. The Tarte Shape Tape stole my heart this year. I love it. I love it so much that this light one is like a fucking mess. There's like none left. Don't worry, I ordered another one from Ulta. I do have light medium, but it's just a little bit like, in the summer this is like the perfect shade for me, and that's like almost completely full, so I'm good on that for the summertime. But light, oh my god, this concealer, I mean, it doesn't matter about the shade, but this concealer is just perfect. Like, I always had a lot of trouble with under eye concealer, and like, I'm not gonna lie, this concealer does still crease on me because literally every concealer in the world creases on me, but it is so good. Like, it just feels amazing under the eyes. It is so nice and creamy, such good coverage. It creases the least out of all of my concealers I've ever had. It creases the least on me. It just is beautiful. It just looks beautiful under the eye. Like, it's so creamy and nice that it's like not gonna make you look crepey or creasy or cakey at all. It's just incredible. And the huge doe foot applicator, like, I kid you not, whenever I use another concealer with like a regular size doe foot applicator, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why are you so tiny? Okay, you guys, like, look at this concealer job. I fucking love it. Okay, so the next product I'm gonna talk about is my favorite setting powder of the year. I actually have two, but I'm just gonna talk about this one. Actually, no, I'm gonna pull out both. So, two different powders that I love for setting my under eye and like my concealer and stuff. The RCMA No Color Powder, I know everybody talks about it, but the Sasha setting powder in translucent. If you're like a tan or dark skin tone, I know everybody loves the Sasha Buttercup powder, but I was just honestly jealous that that powder was so good and I couldn't use it on my skin, so I was like, oh, I wonder if they make like a white one or a translucent one, and they do, and it's so fucking good, you guys. Like, nobody talks about this, but I swear to you, if you are not dark enough for the Sasha Buttercup powder and you've always wanted to try it, go ahead and get this. I got it on Amazon. It's amazing. It sets your under eyes incredibly. I'm almost out, so most of the time I like pour the RCMA in here because this you have to like pour into something to apply it, so most of the time I pour it into the top of this and then kind of mix them. But these are both very, very similar. Like, they basically both just set your under eyes so beautifully. They set it into place. They actually make your concealer look even smoother than it already is, and the Shape Tape does look really smooth under the eyes. It keeps everything from creasing. It just kind of locks everything into place. I always use it with my damp beauty blender and press it under the eyes, and it just keeps your concealer there all day long without creasing, or mine always creases a little bit because I have lines under my eyes, but minimal creasing, looks amazing, brightens you up because it's white. It doesn't like have any flashback or anything. It is just incredible. It's so finely milled, so it feels amazing on the skin. It's just incredible. I honestly like the Sasha a little bit more just because it comes in this kind of jar and it makes it easier to apply. This is kind of annoying to have to pour out. I always waste so much of it, but it is a really, really great powder. For setting the rest of my face, my favorite powder to do that is my Sephora Micro Smooth Bake Powder. This and probably my MAC Studio Fix are my two favorite powders. I think I mentioned the MAC Studio Fix last year, but this one I think I discovered this year or maybe late 2016. And I fucking love it. It's just so, so nice. It gives you a little boost of coverage when you set your face with it. It's really nice and finely milled. It doesn't make you look cakey. It doesn't really cling to any dry patches. It just looks beautiful. It just mattifies you and makes you look gorgeous, but not flat. People kind of sleep on the Sephora collection brand, but it's honestly really good, you guys. Some of the stuff is really, really nice. A bronzer that I discovered this year, it was later in the year, but I love it. It's the only bronzer that really stood out to me this year. This is the Bobbi Brown bronzing powder in Golden Light. It is just an incredible, incredible formula. It's a great shade for me. They have a million different shades of this bronzer, so you're bound to find one that suits your skin tone, but this formula is so nice and blendable. It just goes on like a dream. It's not patchy at all. The colors are all really, really nice and won't make you look muddy at all. They're matte. They're completely matte, so you can also contour with this. This shade specifically is nice and neutral, so you can go ahead and bronze with it and contour with it and not look crazy. Wow, I applied a lot on my forehead. I did not mean to do that. I got a little bit too excited about this powder. It's just so easy to build up. It just looks beautiful on the skin. I love everything about this powder. It's like I've had it for only like a month and a half, and I feel like I'm gonna hit pan soon. That's how much I love this shit. And if you're wondering about all of the brushes I'm using, basically all of my favorite brushes that I'm using in this tutorial will also be in my Holy Grail brushes video. So I'm also gonna put a card for that in this video so you guys can check it out. I talk about all of my favorite brushes that I've had for years and have stood the test of time, and I think you guys will love it. So if you're wondering about all the brushes I'm using in this video, I will go ahead and insert a card for you guys to check that out. For blush for the year, the one that stood out that I've been using almost every day is definitely Madly by NARS. It's this beautiful kind of like nude pink, a little bit more on the cooler tone, on the cooler side of the spectrum, but it just blends so beautifully into your bronzer. I'm not like really huge on like standout blush. I'm not a huge pink blush person, but this just gives you a nice flush to your cheeks and blends onto the cheeks beautifully. The NARS blush formula is really, really nice. Not patchy at all, great pigmentation. Like, you know, with a blush you want like good pigmentation because you want it to show up, but you don't want it to be like crazy pigmented where you like are afraid to apply too much. This is just really nice and buildable, so it's like super easy to use. And when you look at your skin, like you have a flush to your cheeks, but you're not like clown face, you know? And I have to say, you guys, my favorite highlighters of the year have to go to the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit. This thing is just always the highlighters that I reach for. I just love it. Like, not necessarily these two because they're very, very like pink and white, or I would definitely say Forever Young, Glow Getter, and 143 are the ones I use the most, but sometimes I'll mix 143 with Forever Lit because this may be a little too dark for me. Sometimes I'll mix Glow Getter and Daydream if I want a little bit more color in it, or if I want to put a little bit more on my cheeks. Kitty Cat I'll usually mix with Forever Young, like I'll mix these two and these two, just to get some use out of these because they are kind of more like blush colors for me. But this kit is beautiful. The formula is so nice. Most of the time I mix these two because I like them together. They're like my favorite shades. And I'll go ahead and apply that. Like, do you see that glow? Nicole killed it on this. Anastasia's highlighters are kind of hit or miss. Like, I remember the Ultimate Glow Kit. It was like not a fan fave. But this one, this is definitely the glow kit or the highlighter in general that I reached for the most this year, and I love it. If you guys, I think this is still available. I can't be sure because I think it was supposed to be limited edition, but I'm pretty sure every time I go to Sephora I still see it. So if you guys can get your hands on this, I highly recommend it. I feel like it's a great, great collection of highlighters. Okay, for eyeshadows, the only eyeshadows that I discovered this year that really, really stood out to me, they're not even like new shadows at all. These are the Bobbi Brown shadows in Camel and in Toast. These, once I discovered them, I was like, these are probably the best eyeshadows I've ever used in my life. So I'm gonna go ahead with Toast on an E40 brush and just buff this through my crease. They're also just great for everyday use. They're so nice and blendable. The pigmentation is amazing. They build really nicely. They don't have too much fallout. They just distribute the most perfect amount of product, and they have a lot of great shades. These specifically are my two favorite. They're just like everyday, like mandatory colors. Like, you need these kind of shades in your life. I feel like if you're a girl that just like works straight out of her makeup bag, doesn't have like a huge makeup collection, you're just like have your same everyday go-to look, these two shades are perfect for you. I'm gonna go ahead with this E13 brush from Morphe and Toast or Camel, and just pop this right on the outer corner and kind of build up the crease a little bit. I just fucking love these shadows. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then I'm also just gonna take a little bit on this little tiny brush and put that on the lower lash line. And this was literally like my everyday shadow look, especially when I was like at my old job. I would switch out shadows all the time or just use bronzer or whatever. But like, this look is essentially what I did every day. So this next product, you guys saw it coming because I talk about these all the time. These are the Stila liquid shadows. Oh my god, this is like my highlight product of the entire year. Literally, I cannot tell you how much I love these. I have so many different shades of them now, and I do plan on buying more because they're so incredible. Literally just such a beautiful product. They are the only liquid shadow in the world I've ever loved because they're just beautiful. This shade I have on is Kitten Karma. It just goes on like a dream. Blends so nicely. The glitter effect on them is so, so beautiful, and they fucking stay put. They don't, not only do they not crease, but they literally last longer than like the powder shadows I've put on my eyes before. They are so incredible. Like, this is probably my favorite product of the entire year. Like, of all of the products I'm talking about in this entire thing, this is absolutely the standout product for me. These are my favorite makeup product probably in the entire world. If you haven't tried them yet, like, what are you doing with your life, girl? You need them. Okay, so the next product I'm going to talk about is my eyeliner fave for the year. This is the NARS Larger Than Life Liner in Via Veneto. It's just a black liner, and I wasn't using black liner at all really before I discovered this, and now I want to use it all the time. Just a tight line. Like, you see the difference that I put it here and not here. Like, it just, my eye looks a little bolder with just that tiny little step. It just fills in those gaps between your lashes. And I mean, I've put it on the waterline too. I don't usually put black liner on my waterline, but like if I was doing a smoky eye or something, I put it on the waterline. It lasts really well on there. But for the most part, I just use it to tightline this year, and I love it. I think it's a really great eyeliner. It goes on super creamy. It's super duper black. It's really easy to work with. I just love it. So my winged liner fave of the year, I'm actually really sad because it's this Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. I know this is like a cult favorite, but I hadn't tried it until this year, and when I did, I fell in love with it. But this was a sample size and it's completely dried out. I still haven't gotten around to getting like the full size one yet. But this is absolutely my favorite for doing a winged liner this year. But because this is dried out, I'm going to dip it into the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner. This is an all-time fave of mine. It's like my favorite gel liner ever. So I'm just gonna combine these two faves and do a wing. It's probably gonna take me a while because I haven't done a wing in like, you know, a few weeks or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this and then I will be back. Okay, wings are on. They're beautiful. I love it. The next product I'm gonna talk about is my favorite mascara of the year. This is one of those iconic products that I really fell in love with this year too. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. Obviously you can see it is so well loved. Look how janky this packaging is. I already have a backup in my drawers for when this product dies out because I cannot be without it. This is literally one of the best mascaras I've ever tried in my life. I was ride or die for the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara for so long. But once this came out, I kind of gave up on that. I still use it because I own it, but I will not be repurchasing it probably ever again because this one is just where it's at. I literally don't need that one anymore. Like, I know, like, seriously Too Faced, I mean seriously L'Oreal, like, so shady of you to steal everything about the Too Faced Better Than Sex, but also thank you so much for making it better for me at a way cheaper price. Thank you for that. I really appreciated it. Builds up your lashes so quickly. It's just beautiful. It makes you have nice, long, thick, voluminous, amazing lashes, and I can't get enough of it. And then I wanted to talk about my favorite lashes of the year, which you guys can probably guess also if you've seen my most recent tutorials and like makeup stuff. These are the Ardell Mega Volumes in number 250. I also love the number 250 ones, but this Mega Volume line is so incredible. Like, if you are a fan of the mink lash look, like the 3D lash look where it's very like fluttery and fluffy and kind of makes you look like you have lash extensions, this is where it's at. And they're cruelty free, no mink hair, no animal hair, wherever. They're also a lot cheaper than mink lashes. They last just as long. I've used these like 8,000 times and I just peel off the glue and keep using them. They're just so beautiful. Like, I know they're pretty dramatic, but I don't care. I wear them all the time. Like, I don't like to wear other lashes than this now. I used to be like ride or die for some wispies or some, you know, like some red cherry number 43s, but those like are nothing compared to these, you guys. Okay, you guys, my lashes are on. Now to finish everything off, we're gonna talk about my favorite lip products. I have to give it up to this lip pencil. This MAC lip liner in Whirl stole my heart this year. I've said that about a lot of products. I don't know why that's my phrase for the day, but seriously, I love this lip liner. I know I'm so late to the party. Like, everybody and their mother has owned this since probably like the 90s. My perfect lip liner. Like, what? It's the perfect color. Because let's be real, like most of the year I did a nude lip. Like, I didn't really venture out into too many like lip colors this year, but I wasn't mad at it because I love me a good classic nude lip. My favorite lipstick is Forever and Still Cream Cut from MAC. It is just the best pinky nude lipstick in the world. I have had the same lipstick stick for years. Oh my god, it's finally dying on me. Ooh, I need to go to MAC and get a new one. But it is just the fucking best. Like, okay, and then I did want to shout out also, I'm gonna just make a little lip cocktail because I usually do this on an everyday basis anyway. This is the Too Faced Melted Liquefied Longwear Lipstick in Melted Sugar. This is a super duper nude, but I became a super duper blonde this year. And I for sure started wearing more nude lips because I felt like it went better with my really blonde hair. I just loved it. So a lot of the time I would do like a nude lip and then pop this into the center and it would just kind of brighten up the nude lip and make it look a lot lighter, and I loved it. Like almost concealer lips, but not. and I just loved it. And then my favorite lip gloss of the year has to go to Sugar Sugar from Marc Jacobs. I know everybody and their mama loves this lip gloss, but I finally bought it for myself this year, and I love it. It's so nice and creamy, so nice and nude, so nourishing on the lips, just incredible. They're very expensive, these lip glosses, but this formula is really, really nice. It's super like minty and tingly on the lips. I love it. I also still love White Russian from Buxom. That is probably like, I probably like that one more than this, but I mention that like every year, so I just wanted to give this one a shout out. But yeah, I've literally like so many lip products on my face now. But I'm just gonna go ahead and hit my face with a little bit more of the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. Thanks, Grandma, for this fan. But yeah, you guys, that is basically the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure that if you did, you give this video a big thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite products of the year are, because I love discovering new products, and I'm sure anything you love, I'll probably love too. So let me know down in the comments what your favorite products, like your standout products of 2017 were, and I will definitely check them out if I haven't already. I love you all so, so much. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys on Thursday.